If the economics of free kills serious journalism, the greatest casualty will be the next speaker, Matthew Parris.
Internet, saviour or destroyer? Neither. I don't think it's going to make any significant difference. I'm a conservative. In a radio exchange with Paddy Ashdown recently about some whiz-bang new voting system or other, Lord Ashdown described me as someone who, as the last dinosaur slithered down the banks of the last primeval swamp, would still be insisting that from the reptilian point of view, nothing would change. Well, maybe. I describe Paddy as someone who, as he watched the first Zeppelin propellers whirring ascend into the February skies, would be declaring with unbounded enthusiasm that he had just seen the future of flying. Free and unfettered access to an ever-expanding world of unmediated news, whose boundaries are unlimited and whose contents offer infinite choice, is that Zeppelin. It will not fly forever. It may not fly for long. It will come down of its own accord. There's nothing to worry about. I believe in hierarchy. I believe in authority. I believe in discrimination. I believe in constraint. I believe with Kipling in the gods of the copybook headings. From whichever direction the wind blows and by whatever means of winnowing we choose or choices are made for us, human beings will find a way for the wheat to fall at our feet and for the chaff to be blown away. That is all we need to know and all we need to find out. Unremittingly interested in the message, I am prodigiously uninterested in the medium. The internet is just another way of writing things down. Looking at the future of news, we find ourselves in 2010 in a situation that may be compared with that of traffic experts in 1910 looking at the future of transport. Some said the invention of the motor car would change everything. Some said it would change little. Some said the railways were finished. Some said we would all soon invent flying motor cars and that all mass terrestrial transport would one day be finished. Nobody got it right. Nobody knew. Nobody could know. Nobody can know. I expect we all have opinions, you've heard some of them already, on the way in which emerging information technology will shape the future of the news. You'll hear these propounded with vigor and conviction. There's a bewildering variety of millennial scenarios to choose from, ranging from the complete disintegration of every organized and controlled organ of news to the reassertion of newspaper-like systems of control over a paperless world. You perhaps feel torn, uncertain, underinformed, at sea in a sea of opposing certainties. Who's right? I have relaxing news for you. It is completely impossible to know. Nobody ever knows on the brink of large technology-led changes in the way that we do things where the journey will end. Everybody is always wrong. Too many uncertainties, too many variables, too many imponderables doom every attempt at prophecy. We needn't even bother to try. All we can be sure of is that everybody is going to get it wrong, completely wrong. Everything we say and write about where the internet revolution will take the news is going to look laughably wide of the mark in 30 years' time, except this, that news values will survive changes in the means by which the news is transmitted. The whole debate about newspapers in a paperless world or broadcasters in a world where everyone can be a broadcaster is entirely secondary. It does not in the end matter whether the news you receive is written in ink on a piece of paper, broadcast into your radio, television set, or home computer, onto the screen of your iPhone, or transmitted as an internet-provided video clip. What matters to you is what's happening in the world. You therefore require a report. In order to receive a report, you have to trust a reporter. In order to organize a stable of trustworthy reporters, you have to have an editor. And so is born a news hierarchy, with implicit within it lines of responsibility, lines of authority, lines of accountability, and lines of trust. You may, through the internet, gain access to 100 or 1 million or 1,000 million reports. Your need will then be to choose which to access, which to read, which to believe. This becomes a question of familiarity and a question of trust. Somebody is going to have to navigate the ether for you, as newspapers and broadcast news have navigated the wires, the court reports, and the near infinity of press releases any editor receives. Somebody is going to have to winnow down. Someone's going to have to edit. Someone is going to have to take responsibility for checking, and someone is going to have to publish. Unless you, the consumer, are confident that these people and these processes are in place, you will not choose to access this report. It was ever thus since the invention of the printing press, the invention, in other words, of publishing, a much more important invention than the devising of different paperless means of publication. These ancient values of news gathering and news publishing, the hierarchy of news, I repeat, reporter, editor, means of accountability, the mediation of news, will, in the half-century ahead, have to adapt themselves to new media and new formats, and we cannot know how they will adapt. All we can know is that they will adapt. We know this not because we should place any confidence in the mediators of news, the supply side, to act with integrity or responsibility of their own accord. No, humans will slip as fast and as far as they can get away with doing. We can know this because we can trust the customers, readers, viewers, browsers, the customers for news, to take their custom to reporting that they trust. It's the demand side, not the supply side, which will in the end save the news. But to be able to do this, they're going to have choice. And that is the last plank in my argument. Offer choice, and however fitfully, quality, authority, and hierarchy will follow. Everything is going to change, and we don't know how. Whatever else that the internet revolution does, it will not remove choice. The prospects for us, 20th century style reporters or commentators awash, as the world may be with overpaid reporters or commentators, awash as the world may be with overworked news anchormen. The prospects for all of us may be gloomy, but the future of news is bright.